The following program contains adult content and is only intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We have a great show for you tonight. Are you excited? Yeah. Awesome. I can't see anyone. My name is Kenton Scott, and I'm going to be hosting the show. Robert Dean is here. Let's give it up for that. Yeah. Awesome. But before we do that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm not from New York. I'm from Dallas, Texas. And yeah, no one's from there. But the best thing I know about Dallas, Texas is when I came here, I learned that everyone in Texas thinks New York means gay. And the way I learned that was I told my parents that I was going to move here, and they were like, I had no idea that that was something that you wanted to do with your life. But now that you mention it, it totally makes sense. And we support you, we love you, but we're praying that you change your mind. No, and then I told my friends, and they were like, oh, I knew it. I knew you were a New Yorker. I knew you didn't belong here. And then I bought a scarf. My mom was like, get the hell out of my house and never come back. So I'm here. It's going pretty well. I like New York City. I think the weirdest thing, though, is the public bathrooms. The first time I ever went in a public bathroom, there were 2 urinals, and one was taken by a very big old man. And he had his legs spread a little too far apart, you know, like just like too far, like he had it all hanging out. And I went into the other urinal. I thought that was the right choice. It was not the right choice, because as soon as I started my stream, he just went, wow. There must be a young man next to me. What do you say to that? I didn't know what to say to that, so I just said, thank you. Just like that. Because actually, if I'm being honest, I think it was a compliment. I think he heard my stream and looked down and noticed his trickle and was reminiscing on the time that went by, the glory days. And he wanted me to know that I should relish in what I have. So I appreciate it. Yeah, no, but I don't like old people really that much. I used to work in a restaurant, and they were really rude. We always had old people there. They were so rude. Like, for instance, one time, this lady dropped her napkin and then just looked at me like I was supposed to pick it up. I know. And it's like, come on, get out of your wheelchair and pick up your own napkin. I look like an only child, I think. You know how you can just tell someone looks like an only child? Like, you just look at them and you're like, oh, that kid never had to share. And his brother never walked in on him masturbating. I think I definitely look like that, if I'm being honest. The best part about being an only child was never having to share, getting all the attention. The worst part was probably watching my parents disown my brother. That wasn't so great, but don't worry about it. He's doing great, guys. He's doing really great. He just got out of prison. Yeah, let's give it up for that. Prison. No, prison is great. Like some people are like, oh my gosh, is he really in prison? No, relax. He just got out. I like visiting prison though. It's really great when you visit it. They have security because they've seen Prison Break, and it's like the TSA, except instead of getting on a plane, you see your brother in beige. And that's not a good color on us. I mean, look at me. I don't look good in khaki. It just doesn't fit my skin tone. It doesn't fit his either. But when you go, they ask you reasons for why you're visiting. And one time they asked me, oh, is he your husband? And I was like, yes. In the very conservative state of Texas, I went on findaprisoner.com and was like, oh, a felon with only 4 years? I'll take what I can get. Dating's hard enough as it is. Some people are still really concerned that he was in prison. No, he's doing fine, guys. One time I went to visit and they wouldn't let me in because I was wearing shorts. They said I was showing too much skin. I might turn some of the inmates on. And I was flattered. I was like, oh, these? Oh my gosh, I've been working on them so hard. Thank you. Inmates, look at me. My brother was supposed to be out of prison in 4 years, and he did it in 3. That's called good behavior. He started prison when I started college, and so he got out in May 2016, a year ago. And my mom was like, you know, Eric got out in 3 years, and he was supposed to get out in 4. Weren't you supposed to get out in 4 years too? And I was like, oh, Mom, guess what? I own my own shoelaces, so who's really doing well right now? My brother got ripped in prison. My parents are proud of him, as you are. My mom always tells me, you know, Eric can bench 250 pounds. And I'm like, Mom, I can tie my own shoelaces, so who's really killing it? I think I am. All right, guys, thank you so much. Are you ready for a great show? Robert Dean is here, but first, let's get to know him a little bit, and he's gonna tell us about his worst first date.
This is the story of the time I shit my pants on a first date. It was the first date. I chose the date, and I thought it would be romantic to have cheese fondue followed by coffee, which would be bad for anybody, especially me. I'm not sure. There was a moment in time when cheese fondue was a cool thing to do. And I was 18 and for some reason thought that was cool. Why did I think cheese fondue was cool? Hey, you wanna do something fun tonight? We could eat cheese as a meal. Just cheese? No, we'll have things to dip in it. That's part of the fun. We each get our own fork and we dip it into cheese. Man, I am romantic. Coffee, also at 18 years old, coffee was like a cool, I'd have coffee. And I was also the kind of guy to go black. You know, because I thought that was cool. I was really trying to impress her. There I am, driving the girl home, and out of nowhere I just go, ah! Pull the car to the side of the road and run out into the woods without saying anything. I realized years later I should have said something, probably, I'm a werewolf. Because that's what it looked like. And I think she would have liked that more than, I'm shitting my pants, bye. I don't remember what the conversation was between us, but I'm really hoping that she wasn't telling me like, yeah, so my brother, and I was like, ooh, like I'm offended by her brother. And you know, I went into the woods, dropped my pants, wiped my ass with leaves. I have a bit of a laissez-faire attitude with underwear. So when I went into the woods, I just threw the underpair. I took my pants off completely in the woods, which I'm hoping she didn't see me take my pants off in the woods. I think that'd be the worst possible scenario. But I took my pants off, took the underwear, and threw them, and then wiped myself with leaves. So I returned to the car, having bits of leaves in my ass. And there was a Axe body spray, which I'm not proud of, in my center console. And as I returned to the car, I just grab it and start spraying in the air, spraying the ceiling of my car. Rolled down all the windows. This was in winter, so she was freezing cold, stinking of Axe. And I drive her home and say nothing about it with my head out the window, like a dog driving a car, just keeping my own nostrils out of the smell. I don't think she noticed. I think she noticed how uncomfortable it was. The next day I called her and I told her I shit my pants on the date and probably should have told her. And you know, honesty goes a long way. We dated for 2 years after that. When you go on a first date with me, you're gonna have to expect a little surprise, a little mystery, and some shit. I'm still wondering if there's ever been someone who's walked through the woods and picked up a pair of shitty Hanes with their walking stick and figured out the story.
Ew. Our comedian tonight has headlined at Caroline's on Broadway as part of their Breakout Artist Series. He's performed at various comedy festivals around the country and was named one of Comedy Central's Comics to Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our headliner, Mr. Robert Dean.
Keep it going for Kenton, everybody! Thank you. I don't shit my pants that often. That's an embarrassing way to be introduced to me. I didn't shit my pants today, that's good. Thank you, thank you. I wore my formal Growfit today. They told me that would get a laugh. If you don't know what a Growfit is, it's a gray outfit, sweatpants and sweatshirt that you guys wear on Sunday. This is my formal variety. This is what I choose to wear. Fun fact about this suit, I wore it to my very first Jewish wedding that I went to recently. That's why I bought it. Yeah. I decided during the reception I'm going to convert to Judaism because I want a chair ride. Why is that fair? Only Jewish people getting married get to get lifted up in a chair and bounced around by their friends and family? I want that. But as a non-Jewish single man, the only chance I have of having that happen is if I strap myself to a chair and refuse to leave this IKEA. Security comes, carries me out. I start singing, Hava, IKEA, Hava, IKEA. I was on the road this weekend and I fucked up. I forgot to pack myself underwear. Has anyone ever done that? No. Oh, a few of you. Good. Has anyone in that moment ever considered wearing a t-shirt as underwear? No. No one? Only me? Well, then you don't know. Here's what happened. I was in the hotel room and I put my legs through the armholes. Then I pulled it up. Then I quickly realized that the neck hole completely defeats the purpose of underwear. I was like, yeah, this won't work at all. This is why I wear underwear. That is until I discovered a new purpose with my afternoon, which is to try and stand on my head in front of the mirror and pretend I'm a penis-headed feet for hands monster. And purpose achieved. It was very fun. Blood was rushing to my head. I started thinking about underwear. And I thought about this. I don't understand why they sell cartoon novelty boxers in adult sizes. Because as adults, the only chance anyone is going to see our underwear is we're about to have sex with that person. And don't you think that's the weirdest time to be like, hey, I got something to tell you. I like Angry Birds. That's the red one. He's my favorite. Oh, I'd much rather be like, yeah, it's a t-shirt. You want to see my impression of a penis-headed feet for hands monster? I didn't properly introduce myself. My name is Robert. Nice. Any other Roberts? By a round of applause. No, I'm alone. Lone Robert. Once again, you guys won't be able to relate. It is not easy being a Robert. Let me explain. Every single morning, I have to wake up and have an existential nightmare. Because every morning I have to wake up and look in the mirror and go, am I Bob yet? It's gonna happen. One day, I'm just gonna become a Bob. I think it's my menopause. The change has happened. Hello, I'm Bob now. I'm not ready for that. It scares me. It's been great. Everyone has been so great on the show, School of Comm. I'm worried about them, though, because they have to go out there in the world and get jobs. I was thinking about this. I think the Weather Channel is like one of the worst places you could possibly get a job, because I have no idea how you'd small talk with your coworkers at the Weather Channel. Like, I assume you get in the elevator with some guy and you're like, ooh, been pretty cold out. And he'll just be like, leave it in the office. Work, work, work. I don't want to talk about the weather anymore. I'm sick of the weather. It's hard getting a job, too. Oh, man, my resume is full of lies. Anyone else? It's just a page of lies. Like, for instance, my resume under skills, it says I'm talented at Microsoft Word and Excel. That's a lie. If I were honest, it would say I know how to type. And I know of Excel. That's the green X, right? Yeah, I've opened it by accident. It also says that I'm talented at Microsoft PowerPoint. And I'm constantly living in fear that one day a company is going to ask me for a presentation as an example of my work, which scares me because I haven't used it since junior high. So I'd have no choice but to send them wolves. A PowerPoint presentation by Robert Dean. First slide, wolves are my favorite animal. Star wipe. Gunshot noise, star wipe. Spinning text for no reason. Explosion. And when you get a job, you just nap on the toilet. I don't know if you guys know, that's what office jobs are. You just take naps on the toilet. You play your cell phone games. I'm a cell phone game addict, I'll admit to it. But I recently fucked up. I spent $10 on one. I'm not proud of this. You're not supposed to spend money, that's like rule number one. But I was building a tiny town in my cell phone called Robert Dean Town, and the people of Robert Dean Town needed a hospital, and I'm a good mayor. So I spent $10 and built them a hospital. And as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, what am I doing? Why did I do that? So I deleted all my cell phone games. I thought it would help, it didn't, because now I'm just trying to play the other apps on my phone like they're games. Has anyone else ever tried to play the calendar? I don't want to brag my high scores. One time I found out my 100th birthday is going to be on a Friday. And out loud I yell, oh good, I'll have a party. I'm a very paranoid person. I don't have to tell you guys that. You all know that because that's all you ever talk about. I knew it. Trying to keep it secret from me. But my paranoia acts up. The other day I was on the bus and the bus driver played the announcement that is, assaulting the bus operator is a felony. And I was alone on the bus. So what is that? Do I look like someone who would assault the bus driver? Was he panicking like, don't hurt me, it's a felony? In his defense, I did choose the scariest seat you could choose alone on an empty bus, which is the middle of the back bench. That is the scariest seat. That's where someone who's gonna assault the bus driver sits. I think it's a limo just for me. When you're alone, it looks weird. A couple days ago, I went to an arcade by myself. That doesn't look good. I won a lot of tickets, too. I was walking around with a lot of tickets. Went to the prize wall. There was nothing I needed. So I found a little kid with his mom, and I handed him all my tickets. And his mom leans down and goes, now what do you say? And the kid just looks up at me and he goes, I don't know. He's like, Mom, you told me not to talk to strangers, and this guy's the strangest stranger. I don't have nothing to say to him. When you do things alone, I found out recently there's no way of swimming alone in a hotel pool without looking like you're thinking about a divorce. No matter how much fun you're having, you're just floating on your back, being like, yeah, this is fine. This is all I need. I like doing things alone. I like taking myself out on dates. A couple months ago, I took myself to a murder mystery dinner. alone. Everyone thought I did it. I was the number one suspect. All the other couples like, he killed the maid. It was that guy. Here's something you might not know if you're the only person sitting at a hibachi table. You know, Japanese food where they cook. If you're the only one sitting there, the chef still puts on the entire show. There's no crowd minimum for hibachi. You get it all. You get the onion volcano. He's juggling knives. Then he expects you to catch all the shrimp in your mouth. It's a lot of shrimp. And it reminded me one time I was 8 years old. I went to hibachi with my 85-year-old grandmother. For some reason, that hibachi chef still thought that she could catch shrimp in her mouth. Yeah. 8 pieces of hot, oily shrimp struck my grandmother in the forehead, neck, and chest. I'm 8 years old. I got so mad, I jump up and I yell, "Stop throwing shrimp in my grandma!" Which I looked it up. I don't think anyone's ever said that before. And in that moment, I thought that might be the funniest thing ever yelled out at a Japanese restaurant. Oh, proven wrong immediately. Because the only other people in this Japanese restaurant were a middle-aged couple having sushi for the first time. How do I know they were having sushi for the first time? They were eating it with forks. And when it arrived, the man said out loud, "I've never had avocado before." So I was like, this is interesting. I turn and look, piece of shrimp hits me in the back of the head. As he takes his fork, plunges it into the wasabi. A lot of you are heartless. Some of you are empathetic and nice. Oh. Actually, I was like most of you. I was sitting there being like, yes, do it, you idiot. Sure enough, he puts the entire forkful of wasabi into his mouth, pulls it out clean, at which point he yelled out the greatest thing ever yelled out at a Japanese restaurant, which is, "Wow, avocado is spicy!" Only way I could see that being better is if he yelled out, "Wow, avocado tastes like wasabi!" Like he knows what wasabi is. I just kept watching him, hoping he would drink the soy sauce and yell out, "Wow, this coffee is salty!" Woo, that's some salty coffee. I'm happy being single. It's an option. I don't know if you know that. You can be happy being single. You could also be miserable in a relationship. Ask my parents. It's a possibility. You ever see a relationship and you cannot understand why they're together? Happens all the time. Recently, middle-aged couple, this blew my mind. Wife turns to the husband and asks, "Honey, do you have any mint or gum?" And the husband goes, "I have Tic Tacs." And then she goes, "Forget it!" And then she storms off. And I was just standing there like, why are these two people together? Let's all ignore the fact that Tic Tacs are definitely mints. Let's look past that. And focus on what I think is the bigger issue. How does she not know her husband has Tic Tacs? They're very noisy. They're a noisy thing to have in your pocket. And think about it, no one ever buys Tic Tacs for the first time. Tic Tacs are never an impulse purchase. If you have Tic Tacs, you always have Tic Tacs. It's part of your personality. You're a Tic Tac guy. Every chance you get, you take them out, you shake them up, you go, "Tic Tac? Tic Tac? Anyone want a Tic Tac?" And then they make us non-Tic Tac people hold out our hands like you're receiving communion. And they gently try to shake that one Tic Tac out, but you know what happens. That one Tic Tac turns horizontal and blocks the hole. So they have to shake harder and harder, and then 7 pour out at once. And they always go, "Ooh, lucky you." I'm always like, "Fuck you, not lucky me. I have to eat 7 Tic Tacs now." Then they always go, "I got the orange kind. I'm a psychopath." I always say that. Be honest with you really quick, the first thing I ever masturbated to, yeah, we're going there. First thing I ever masturbated to was a sexy birthday card I stole from the grocery store. Put it down my pants, took it home. A couple months of fun for that. It had a huge effect on me, though, because now I cannot get an erection unless the girl is wearing a leopard skin bikini and telling me I'm over the hill. It's the only way. It's a very specific fetish. But it made me realize I'm worried about kids nowadays because they have unlimited access to hardcore pornography on the internet. And then they're going to try to have sex? That's like only ever watching the Harlem Globetrotters and then trying to play basketball. Do you know how disappointed they're going to be? They are going to break their ankles. And there's some things you cannot learn from porn. Foreplay, for instance. They don't do foreplay in porn. But then again, I don't know where any of us learn the foreplay we do. Like, does anyone else do the kiss down to oral sex? You know what I'm talking about? That mysterious journey we all take down the torso. You know, as soon as the shirt comes out, you start kissing a centimeter away. You start going, mwah, mwah, mwah. Where am I going? I'm exploring now. Does anyone else get to the belly button and have no idea what to do? I always get to the belly button like it's a bridge troll to the genitals. I'm always like, ask your questions, I'll be on my way. I want nothing to do with you. You ever lick your finger and stick it in and look up? You're like, is this something? Is this anything? You try it on yourself, you're like, yeah, this is no good. You're like, very linty today. I'm very sorry about that. There's no mystery to it. Why do we act like we're being so mysterious when we're doing the kiss down? You're going to the genitals. It's the only place you could be going. Now, some of you out there might be thinking you could be kissing down to the butthole. Sure, I guess. I don't like that idea. Kissing down to the butthole? You gotta take an abrupt turn at some point. Also, to me, kissing down to the butthole is like driving down to Orlando, Florida, and then going to SeaWorld first. What are you doing going to SeaWorld first? It smells. Go to Disney first. I make that joke having neither been to SeaWorld nor the asshole, but I've read a number of things online that make me not want to go to either, so that's where I am. Next time you're doing the kiss down, I want everyone here to add a little mystery. And I want you to think of me. Can we do this? Guess what? It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. You're going to be exploring, and then these eyebrows are going to pop into your head. This gray suit, I'm just going to be like, hi, remember me? And here's how I want you to add mystery. I want you to completely bypass the genitals. I want you to kiss down the leg, across the foot, across the floor, and out the door. Just take off. I'll end with this. I think I'm the funniest after sex. Woo! Pressure's off. I can be myself. One time I had sex with a girl, and she was getting redressed. Nothing was said. Nothing was said after sex. She starts getting redressed, and she out loud goes, "Where are my socks?" And without hesitation, I yelled out, "I knocked them off you!" I was so proud I came again. All right, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Robert Dean, everybody.
Great job.
Kenton, everybody.
Oh, we're still going. That's our show, guys. Thank you so much. I want to thank you to our producers, to everyone on crew. You guys have been amazing, and that sound happened at the very end, so our tape is good.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we're good. Awesome, great. No, but thank you guys for coming. That's our show. Good night.